Here we have the Zontes Tiger ZT125-3A. It's a 125cc custom commuter motorcycle. Sort of got a cruiser look about it. Front disc brake, rear drum brake, chain driven, bog standard on a 125. Side stand, centre stand, carburettor with choke on the engine, as well as a fuel tap. This is a very good bike, manufactured in China. Unlike most Chinese bikes, this one isn't a copy of anything. This one's an original design, although the instruments resemble Yamaha YBR 125, although this one has a gear indicator which the YBR doesn't have, and the fuel gauge is at the top, but the speedo and tacho are very similar. This bike pulls around 12 horsepower at about 8,000 revs, and has single cylinder, one exhaust pipe. The tyres I find to be, well, the tread in them is very deep, so I was quite impressed with that. You see here I've jury-rigged a rucksack into a tail pack with bungees. One thing I will say is that the luggage rack is very peculiar, and you'd be hard pressed to find a top box that will fit it properly. Although I think you'll be all right with panniers on it. So far I've only had this bike for since Friday, so that's about 5 days. So I haven't taken it much far beyond 7,500 revs, which got me up to 60 miles per hour. But most of the time I'm riding it at 6,000 revs. It's got a 15-litre tank with a 2-litre reserve, and it does about 350 kilometers on a full tank. Yeah, I got last time I filled it up, it cost me about 13 quid. Obviously, you got pillion seat. The only problem I've had with it so far is one that you get on a lot of motorcycles with this feature. Is there's a kill switch just here with the wire leading up into the frame, which cuts the engine when the side stand is down, so you can't start it. The problem came when it started killing the engine the day after I got it, while it was up and moving, which was very well, frightening really, when the engine just suddenly cut out, and I couldn't figure out why. And I was late for my cadet instructors training weekend, which was a nuisance. But once I figured out what it was, all I had to do was disconnect the plug from underneath that panel, and it just started up again. So yeah, you might want to get that checked out, although I've not heard of this problem happening on any other Zontes. It's hard to find review material for the Zontes, but this one did have that problem, but I've not read it in any other Zontes review. Yeah, it's got quite a nice sound. This sounds quite a lot like a YBR, to be honest, and it handles like a YBR as well. Yeah, it handles like a YBR. It corners very well for a custom motorbike, you know, because over here is my Huaniyao, which I'm trying to sell at the moment. Yes, this one's got a top cruising speed of 50, and it takes corners. You have to take corners fairly slow on that because the leaning angle is not great. On this one, the leaning angle is much better. I've read that the engine is counterweighted. Not really sure what that means, but I think it has something to do with the way it handles. I think I'm going to have to adjust the headlamp, because for some reason the beam points upwards into the sky and I can't really see where I'm going at night very well unless it's on low beam, which still isn't great, but the high beam for some reason points upwards, and it looks like the headlamp casing is pointing upwards as well, which would explain it. So yeah, overall I'm very satisfied with this bike. It's an improvement over my Huaniao. I would recommend it, but as with all brand new bikes, particularly Chinese ones, give it a bit of TLC, take it out for a test ride before you do any proper riding on it, and enjoy it, because it really is a very smooth ride. Got good suspension on it. The rear shock absorbers are adjustable, so if you're a bit too tall for the default position, you can adjust it, or if you're too short, whatever. This bike, I am a little bit too tall for this bike, but it's not a problem, which means I had to adjust the mirrors to point upwards. One thing I am anticipating is this spark plug. My Huaniao had one just like it, and about 6 months after I got it, we had some heavy sleet, and I was riding in it. It started sleeting as I was riding. I wasn't stupid enough to go out in sleet, but it started sleeting while I was riding home, and the spark plug shorted out, because these metal ones aren't waterproof, I don't think. In particularly heavy rain, these do tend to short out, from my experience. So there you go. I just got it replaced with a better one on that one, but there you go. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to hopefully at least 5 years of riding this before I get my full size license test. Yeah, very nice bike. Do recommend. Yeah, thanks for watching.